Module 5, Lesson 3, Setting Energetic Boundaries. Boundaries are just as important for your energy as they are for your emotions. Setting energetic boundaries allows you to maintain your personal space and not take on the energy of others. Energetic boundaries are distinct from shielding because they are about consciously defining what you do allow into your space, while shielding acts as a protective layer. Boundaries are proactive communication of your limits to others, and they are crucial for preserving your energy, preventing emotional fatigue, but also maintaining a sense of inner peace. You might recognize someone overstepping their boundaries if you feel drained, uncomfortable, or their energy seems to linger. Pay attention to any discomfort, as it is a signal that your boundaries might be crossed. To maintain boundaries, start with clear intentions and practice assertive communication. Visualize a protective bubble and reinforce it by saying no when necessary. Simple grounding exercises or affirmations can help you stay firm, setting boundaries as a powerful act of self-care that allows you to protect your energy and thrive. Here's an example of setting an energetic boundary. I was at the gym walking on the treadmill, and I ran into someone I knew a very long time ago. I didn't realize she was going to stop and talk for a while, so I continued walking. She jumped in front of my treadmill and decided to catch me up on her life over the last several years. I was a little uncomfortable because I wanted to stay focused on what I was doing. I asked if she was a member and if we would run into each other again and if we could catch up at a later time. She ignored that suggestion and launched into a long, complicated story about her life. As she continued to talk about the topic she brought up, I became more and more uncomfortable with what she was talking about in a public setting. And on multiple occasions, I said, "This does not seem appropriate for the gym." Well, she continued with her long story and completely ignored what I was saying. She said a couple of things that I found to be completely and particularly inappropriate. I put up my hand like a stop sign and I said, "Please stop. That is too much." But she continued. She became more and more inappropriate. So I put my fingers in my ears and I said, "La, la, 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 la." But she continued. I was quite uncomfortable, and she was way overstepping my boundaries. I stopped the machine, I got off, and I said, "This conversation is making me very uncomfortable. I am glad I ran into you, but I do not want to continue at this moment. Perhaps I will see you in the future, and we will talk about other things. Have a good day." Now, my body language was very clear that I expected her to leave. And at that time, she finally understood the boundary and she said her goodbyes and left. Needless to say, I grounded, I cleared my energy field, and I set the intent to not encounter her again. However, if I do, I will stop immediately if she oversteps. Let's do a journaling exercise. What situations do you have to energetically set boundaries in your life? Recall some situations in your life that you wished you had set a clear boundary and held it. What was the outcome of not holding your energy boundary? Write these down in your journal and reflect on how those experiences can help you set better boundaries in the future. Additionally, think of a situation in your life right now where you need to set a boundary. Journal about what that boundary is and how it is not being held or not being respected. What conversation do you need to have? Play that conversation out in your journal. So when it does occur in your actual life, you are prepared for the conversation. You've already practiced.